Welcome to Tiger Wolf. I'm Josh, and this is David.
Please be aware, this podcast contains strong language and spoilers.
David. Are you awake?
I was finishing the swig of soda I just
If you had whatever equipment to play D&D you wanted, what would it be?
I feel like that would depend on several factors for me.
Well, we're assuming like regular players who show up and who would be into whatever it is as the equipment. So what would you like? And we're going to assume anybody else involved will just be on board with it.
Oh, that's my thing. Like, am I a player or am I DM? Because that actually changes my response.
Well, I mean, yeah. I was just thinking about as like a player, but do you want to talk about DM first?
I mean, we can. Like, if I was DM, I would prefer, it's going to sound probably kind of cheesy and stupid, but I would prefer like 3-dimensional piece together pieces, like an actual tangible area map that you can.
They have stuff. They actually make that stuff.
That's the stuff I would want as a DM. Like I need house number 2.
Oh God, I can't remember the name. Dwarf Fortress? Nope, that's a game.
Dwarven Forge.
I think that's it. I've seen them on Twitter. They build like semi-modular to non-modular areas that are like 3-dimensional areas for you to place your player tokens.
Yeah,
there is it makes it harder to play in the sense of like seeing things and I mean, like, super ideally, I guess, a hologram with highlights and stuff. But obviously, that's
a bit
like,
away still.
in the realm of potentially possible now.
Yeah, but yeah, like like I said, if I was the one DMing, I would enjoy that tangibleness of it. Where like, all right, we're coming up on, I need to make a quick farmstead. So house number 2, clink. This farm, scarecrow. Fenced in area, couple of small horses, chicken coop, and token of red blood in the center of right in front of the steps of the house.
Just you know how they have the ones for Halloween's? Just slap one of them suckers on there.
Exactly, a little token for.
We could do that
blood.
Now. It's squishy. Dye some of them black, and it's a black ooze.
I mean, that's the kind of stuff I would enjoy if I was the one DMing.
Okay.
The issue then, if you're doing like, what would it be, like Dragon Heist? Like if you were running Dragon Heist and using modular 3D things, you'd have to have like the entirety of Baldur's Gate. I think that one takes place in Baldur's Gate. Or is that one Waterdeep? Either way, you'd have to have like chunks of the town.
It's Waterdeep.
Yeah, Avernus is Baldur's Gate. That's right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I remember because the masked leaders of Waterdeep they have to do with it. Okay. Or they can have to do with it. Yeah. That would be super cool. Again, I feel like the limited restriction on our ability to see around the map would be an issue.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I would rather keep it 2D. Maybe some 3D elements.
Okay. Well,
I'm more of a tech head. So
this is true. You are. Comparatively, you are much more tech, and I am much more.
Well, I would like ideally
textile,
and I don't know what would be the best way to create this. but essentially a board that is a screen, maybe like a touch screen or something like that, so we can have location
tracking
with the screen and software, and also like a chip in the token so that we know what token it is that's just moved there.
Okay.
And this is where it gets super convoluted because this would be like a whole like game table.
Yeah.
Like, and like the DM would have a tablet to like track numbers
HP
and everything,
initiatives and
line of sight and
all that shit,
stuff like that.
Because a digital DM screen of sorts.
Well, it would have that capability too, but also like tracking sheets without having to handwrite it.
Okay.
Just tap here, tap there. Have a section where you can write it, type it in if you need to.
So have kind of like a.
But this is where the software gets a little bit more complicated. The players would also have their own, probably smaller tablets to track like spells and stuff like that easily.
Mm-hmm.
And then like that would all be like interconnected, so the DM knows that the people aren't casting spells they can't cast or something like that, but can also override it in case they say, "Well, you did get a little bit of a rest. I'll let you get one spell back," or something like that. So they still have that freedom to DM how they want.
Yeah.
But the map is also in 3D on the player's screen where they can actually see from their character's perspective. So they can like look around. Like just like a 360 camera. That's it.
Yeah.
No, like you have to move on the board in order to see anywhere else through that. So they can get an idea of what their line of sight is. And then it would fog out at the sight range. If it's like dark vision or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like just the tracking information there would be so helpful. Because then you have associative things. You have an element of 3D. It wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah.
But it could help, like especially if you could easily, without being like a programmer, or some sort of developer, to make these maps as the DM, so you can have like the hints in the environment that they might be able to pick up. Obviously, you're gonna have your description, but people focus on the wrong things. No matter how hard you try to make things obvious to them. I have literally paused before I said specific words so that they would stick out. And my players just completely ignore them.
Shambling mound.
Yeah. No. She said there was a pile of refuse in a place that there was no reason for them. There was an exact reason for us to be suspicious of that. We're gonna light it on fire.
What?
Why are you gonna light this shambling? I mean, this mound of refuse on fire because it doesn't belong here.
How are you going to light it on fire?
Oh, we have a flask of alchemist fire.
I have alchemist fire. Fine.
I mean, yeah, sure. We probably could have gone without fighting it, but we didn't.
No. But so a couple of questions that popped into my head.
Probably shouldn't be talking about that stuff on here.
Dealing with the programs and whatnot. So.
Oh, I was gonna say that, like, also just real quick.
Okay.
Like they would have a spot for like a flat area where they can have like writing things or have their dice rolling stuff. Like I understand my players would like to have their own like things to bring. And also a cup holder. The main issue with making a table like that is providing enough space so you have those things and the ability to reach your token wherever it needs to go.
That's why they have the shuffleboard things they used to use in ancient maps.
That's a great idea. I didn't even think of that. You'd have to make sure the base is weighted though for that to work. Yeah. Otherwise, it'll just fall over, and then you have to reach yours. Can you pick up my kobold, please?
Can pick up Jeff? No, that's Frank.
What is it with Jeff?
That's Ted. Jeff, that one. Yes.
Oh, that's Bill.
Look, if they're kobolds, it's one thing. If it's goblins, it's Ook.
No, kobolds aren't named Jeff.
It's Ook.
I've played 2 campaigns now where I accidentally named a character Jeff.
Yeah. It's Ook, Eat Gad, and Looksy. And then Glow Hands. Those are your goblin names. There's a long running joke there, don't ask.
Okay.
But no, so
that's like my ideal setup, I think. And then unlike the DM's control, you can like move the camera around.
So
and take a
with
look at the
DM, we'll start the questions I have from the DM's perspective. With the DM on your table, since there are these touchscreen things and whatnot, would they have, like let's say there's an ambush they have planned, X number of distance into whatever.
The players have planned, or
the DM has planned. They're planning an ambush on the players. So let's say they load. They're all sitting down to play, and that the session they're playing is when that ambush is supposed to happen. Would there be a way to kind of map out encounters ahead of time in some sort of software? That would.
I mean, obviously, if they have like a whole mapping thing, like
I'm trying to figure out the proper way to ask the question. Like, not just with, the generic mapping, hey, this token's going to be here, this token's going to be here, this token's going to be here.
Like notes?
Yeah, like, if it comes to a point where they're like, okay, I want to use the ambush here.
So you're saying, like, can they just pull in an encounter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yes. There's a whole bunch of software already for encounter.
Would there be pre-generated
creating and stuff like that?
Would it?
I mean,
would it all be encompassed in the single program, or would you need to use one of those external?
I feel like ideally you could import it or create it in the.
I think that's probably the way I should have phrased it. I just couldn't think of the phrasing.
Like I feel like ideally you could import it for anything that can export it.
Okay.
Not anything, because supporting anything is just garbage. But I feel like same thing with map. Like there's mapping programs out there, making it like a 3D one that you can look around. Maybe not, but a 2D map file, sure.
All right.
Especially ones that can export like what are walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to tweak it after you import it to block line of sight and stuff.
So let's say
I've actually seen some up and coming software recently that I'm interested in.
Let's say someone is running Horde of the Dragon Queen.
Okay. That's where first Jeff came from.
Would you use would you give the players access to the overview of like, this is what Green's Nest looks like?
Well, it depends on a lot of things. Depends on how I want to play it. Like if I want to be super descriptive and I want to just describe where they're at when they get to where they're at and how they can get to the next area, then I'm going to do that. if I want to, like, this is your map. You can decide where to go through here. I'll describe whatever areas,
you guys go
as
through
you get to.
and
But then I'll do that. Like, I'd probably do like picture in picture type deal, where like each one of them might have a map if like they come across and have a map themselves.
Yeah,
or
like if
something
they're
like that.
from Green's Nest.
Like that would be maybe a semi-interactive inventory for things like that.
Okay.
So like map of Green Nest, hit that and it opens up the map of Green Nest.
And then you can if you go to use want to use a health potion, you tap the health potion.
Automatically counts down. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Counters like that, definitely.
What about, like, I know would you have it set up for like the players? They have their character on like a flash drive, and they just plug the flash drive in, and it opens up all.
I honestly think that the chip for the token would be better for that.
So something much closer akin to Skylanders.
Yeah, I mean everything could be stored, so they could when they set the token on the field, it would just like it would pull that information. Problem, you have to connect which player that is. So maybe they'd have to have a reader for the tablet that they have first.
So a wake up.
Well, it connects it to the tablet, and then they put it on the map or on the field, whatever. Just on the screen, the big screen, in front of them. It doesn't even have to be out on the map area, and it would know that that's that person.
Yeah. That character is tied to this display. Display 1, display 6.
I feel like it'd be easiest to hold because it would just be like a couple simple, mostly basically text files, maybe an image for your drawing for your character's face or something like that. If you decided to put that on there.
Okay. And you've got the generic tokens for the monsters and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and you have your figurines.
How would you handle traps?
Like,
would there be visual representation of a trap being triggered on the large map?
Triggered?
Yeah, like say trigger.
Probably just post-triggered map just to show like
there was a trap here.
Like a tile that breaks or the spot breaks or whatever. You have a pit or a spike pit or something like that there, then it becomes that.
Okay.
But otherwise it wouldn't like self-identify so players can go, I should check that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like ideal world. Yeah. Realistically, all I think I want right now is a dice box, a dice tray to roll in.
I got one with that set of
like I said,
Avernus dice. So.
I've looked into. I've seen some software. I cannot remember the name of the one that is being worked on right now. That looks very promising for this type of management.
Mm-hmm.
It looks really good, but I can't remember the name of it right now. I saw it on Reddit.
So, here's one for you. So far, everything we've discussed, all of the possible things and everything, they're all D&D based, 5th edition. Now, would you create a mirror program of that for, say, Pathfinder or Warhammer 40K?
Oh, no. This would, ideally, it's to import your own rules, because I want to play more than just D&D.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Would it change?
So, at its core, it would just be information tracking.
Yeah. Which
can be tied to variables that are tied to the rule set.
Okay.
Otherwise, enemies and stuff like that function basically the same.
Yeah.
It's just what
the
stats are named and how you use them. That's different.
Yeah.
Like on a field, on a map, they function the same. They can move. They can potentially use ranged weapons. They can use melee weapons. Same kind of thing. Like the format or whatever for the players would be based off of that too. Yeah. So I think like that's the tough thing, right? That's the thing that most softwares have issue with is because there's all these different rule sets, and legally speaking, you can't just have them. They can't be a free thing on your platform. You have to have a license in order to license it out to them, basically.
Yeah. I mean, yours would definitely be, your table design would definitely be a bit more interesting than, my very textile.
Well, I mean, the perfect mesh would be what we can't achieve just yet, is like a hologram where you can kind of look through everything.
Yeah.
And have like characters and things that probably different colors. See, that's the kind of thing I would love to build with maybe like a HoloLens or something.
Yeah.
Any other ideas? I know, like I said, for now, I would settle with like a dice tray that's like I customized or something. Had my own thing in it. Probably does not even D&D related.
Probably not.
Just something that's like more me than my character, because then I'd have to have one for each of my characters,
which would drive you insane.
That's not the right word.
Look,
I would be very happy with that.
I do not have a
if I had a fucking
per character.
If I had a fucking like image of like Aris's tattoos or something, that'd be great.
I don't have a dice set per character
yet.
Look, just because I collect the clicky clack math rocks doesn't mean a damn thing. I don't. Ooh, that's pretty. You don't need a new dice set. Yes, I do. You have 7, but dice.
Hey, I got a metal set, and I'm not going back. I just need more metal sets now.
I need to actually get a metal set.
Yes, you do. It's very good. I mean, like, I've looked into making my own DM screens and stuff. Mm-hmm. The hardest part is the making it. Like, I found some really good PDFs of like the information for it, but making something that can be a DM screen, is the challenging part.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I have the tracking cards for my players, the tracker for myself that I never use for what my players are.
Sounds about right.
The hardest thing I find is tracking, especially when it comes to large groups of enemies, which kobolds are.
Yeah, which you're
tracking them. And that's where I think like software would be super cool.
Also probably a bit more useful, especially if you have like, 12 kobolds, 2 ambush drakes, 3 dragon claws, and what the fuck ever else.
Yeah. I should write up like a program to make it easier to track that stuff or something for myself. I don't have a tablet, so it only goes so far. One of my workarounds for like a beginner version of that table, which I think I've talked to you about before, is basically just a simple plexiglass table, like a table that holds just a piece of plexiglass with nothing underneath it and a projector projecting up onto it. So probably like semi-foggy so it can catch the light.
Yeah, so it can catch the light and give you the map.
Right. So that my players can just move around and I don't have to worry about drawing something up real quick, or I just have to be prepared.
Yeah. We don't know how difficult that can be.
Well, it's better than having to draw something out of the book because I can't afford to blow it up and print it out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always fun. I mean, I don't think I have anything else to add.
All right. Well, why don't you let us know what you like to use or would like to use for your tabletop gaming? It's something we have a huge interest in, but it's hard to find a topic to talk about on the podcast where we don't, especially one where we don't just end up on a tangent anyway.
Yeah. I think we did pretty good this time.
Yeah. Hopefully it wasn't boring.
Let us know.
Did you say let it snow?
Well, I suppose that's the end of the episode.
Please like, comment, follow, and share. And also, more importantly, thank you for listening.
Take care.
Bye.